right, y'all, we are back, and today is gonna be a little bit different. I saw this little interview that was, trending on CBS 6, and it was a man confessing to killing his parents, and I was just like, whoa, what is this about? So I said, you know what? Let me react to this for y'all because this is something that I'm really intrigued by that I technically went to school for because I studied criminal justice when I was in college. And yeah, I am like super intrigued by things like this. They capture my attention so deeply. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. Hopefully, you guys like it. And this is about yeah, I don't know anything about this man, but this is the interview. Let's see if we can do the different type. Yeah, this is the interview right here. We're gonna see what this is about, okay?
All right, Lawrence. Well, thanks for sitting down with us. We really appreciate it. We'll get to the statement,
He has a
but first we
look.
want to talk about the more recent event, actually the prior events and now the more
Why
recent
is he
events.
dressed like that?
Take me back.
Hold on. Why is he dressed like that, y'all? Like, if you're having an interview, maybe it's just me. If you're having an interview, and wouldn't you dress properly? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see.
Back to the summer of 2017. What
2017,
happened to
this
your
is
parents?
2025.
My
He is
mother wrote
still
me a
out and
note,
about.
which the police must have now, describing her walking across Whitehall Road. I mean, not Whitehall, Wolf Road, and she fell down on her face.
What?
And she had, when I saw her a week or so later, yellow and
I'm trying to find
green.
I'm trying to find the best way to put this for you guys without getting copyrighted, and we're gonna see if this works.
Black and blue marks from this. And she wrote that down, and that was a situation that became a problem because when elderly start to fall down, the time comes that they start to, beginning of the end. And
What?
my father also had,
People fall down all the time. But I guess maybe it's different for older folks, but people fall down all the time. What are you talking about, dude?
cataract surgery, and he lost his vision to
Oh man.
double vision, so he couldn't be a
Have you ever wanted to see your
Oh my
home from
God, the
space? With
ads.
this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom right.
Okay.
he couldn't drive, so they were losing their independence and so forth. And my mother had a brother who had Alzheimer's, and my father had a sister who had Alzheimer's.
Okay.
They were both in nursing homes. My mother had a second sister who also had Alzheimer's.
What is this leading
And
to?
they put you in a bed. They put catheters into you. They they rip your teeth out to try to keep you, the whole 9 yards. So this is in the
Is
back
that
of my
true?
mind.
So you didn't want to see the
Hold on. Is that all true? Is that something that they do for people with Alzheimer's? Removing their teeth? Oh, why would they do that? Alzheimer's. I feel like that's memory related. I'm not sure.
deteriorate and go through that. Did you?
And I'll mention, the police know about my sister and having to see my sister die from cancer. I was 16, she was 14. Go through
Oh, my.
9 months or so of, the agony of cancer patients.
So did you kill your parents as a mercy killing to put them out of their misery?
He's going straight to it.
You can be honest with us.
I know. I'll leave that for the statement that I put on your website.
The
But
statement doesn't mention that.
I know,
The statement
I
does
know.
not mention that.
Right.
I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What did you do to your parents?
I
What
buried
did
them
you
in
do?
their property.
You buried them in the backyard of that house in Albany.
Right.
Excuse me. Okay. Does that mean they died and then you did that? Or what exactly happened, you know? All right. Okay. Here's a little bit of detail that's not in there because he's talking about The interviewer is asking if your parents, and you're saying you buried them. Kind of skipped over a little question right there.
At what point did they become deceased?
I need to see a calendar to sometime August
What?
2017.
And did they die at your hand? That's the question.
Right. I'll have to leave it for that statement.
But that's not in the statement. And I think
Right.
it's important for people to know what happened to your parents.
Right.
They were your
He's trying
parents.
to pry
You
that
loved them.
information
They were
out.
deteriorating. What did you do?
Okay, I like this interviewer.
I will.
Don't tell me you're going to leave it to the statement, because it's
Well,
not in the statement.
I know.
What did you do to your parents?
My goal is for the American people to recognize that there's 40 million boomers. They're all going to go through the same kind of problems. It affects all of us, and we need to widen up the law so that people can deal with these kind of problems in a humane way, in a whatever way that people can deal with.
What are
I
you
did my
saying,
duty to my
dude?
parents.
So you ended their lives.
I won't.
You're saying that without actually saying that
Yeah,
word.
pretty
I want to hear you
much,
say that
because
word.
he's skirting
You ended
around
their lives
the
have to-
question.
to give them mercy, you're saying.
I have to plead my Fifth Amendment rights until I
You're
can
not in
disclose
court,
it with my
though.
statement there.
Did you have any concern that whatever you did
Bro, he's trying to cover his ass right now. Oh my gosh. He's not trying to answer that question. But that man, that interviewer, is trying to pry it out of him, saying, like, what did you do? Tell me. What is the information? Hello. What did you do? I mean, if you come to the interview, what is the point of you coming to the interview if you're not gonna tell the truth, you know? And why are you dressed like that? Like, okay, dude.
was wrong?
I would never have done such a thing if I ever did it knowing it's wrong.
So you
So
did
you
do
believe
it.
what you did was right. You believe taking your parents' lives was the right thing to do for their sake.
If I did it, absolutely like that.
If
that.
you did it.
But you did do it. You're saying to us that you did it.
There's a statement there that we'll deal with more later if you want to know.
Lawrence, I appreciate that, and we'll talk about your statement, but
What does
show
the
me where in
statement
the statement it
say?
says that you killed your parents. It doesn't. It doesn't talk
Right.
about the fate of your parents here. You
Right.
keep talking about the statement answering my question, but the statement does not answer my question. It's the question people want to know. And I think they need to hear it from you.
Yes, there's
So-
a time for that.
And I think now's the time. Did you kill your parents to put them out of their misery?
My concern for their misery was paramount.
Okay.
And it was a huge burden to have to face this coming up.
He definitely did it.
You know, this is a horrible situation.
Sure. So you alleviated that burden.
You're a good questioner. I have to protect my Fifth Amendment rights on this until the right time.
I'm not an attorney. I'm
Right.
not an officer of the law. You don't have to say that to me.
Yes, but I mean, whatever I say here is going to be held against me elsewhere.
That is
course,
so
but
funny.
you-
They're both very smart right now, where the interviewer is being really strategic and trying to pry that information out of him. But that man is not trying to give him anything. He's like, you know what? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I'll let you know later. Okay. This is an interview, and I don't know. It's funny. Does he looks like he's not wearing socks too. This whole thing is a little bit unhinged to me, because you came to an interview, you dressed up, and you decided to put this fit together. Like, this fit together. Don't look like you're wearing socks, my man. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
You probably answer to a higher authority anyway in the long run. So I think you can tell us what happened. Did you kill your parents together at the same time in the same place? What method
Yeah,
did you
give us the
use?
details.
That all of that all that kind of stuff I would answer later with that deal with the American people. But I'm not going to speak about such things like that.
But you have a chance to tell the American people right now.
I want their feedback on my statement. Then I can believe that I can tell the truth uninhibited.
You don't think you're going to get better feedback if you're honest with them
They always have a look, y'all.
and tell us what happened?
I put things in the right order. They have to be in the right order. But it's very important that insofar as exculpatory material, the police have that statement from my mother regarding what happened to her, crossing the street at Wolf Road, falling down, you know.
Right.
What,
And she
what does
also
that
had
have
a
to do
problem
with?
she mentioned she was getting lines in her eyes for some reason. And there was no, I don't know what that would be.
That was the prelude that helped set things in motion, you're saying.
That was the,
That started your parents' downhill trend, health-wise.
yes, but also the letter from her to me said, do something. Or this you need to know this in a way that was.
Your parents asked you to kill them or to take their lives in a merciful fashion?
I think they want me to take responsibility for things.
They asked you to take their lives, to do what they couldn't do?
Implicitly, but not explicitly.
So you were just granting their wishes?
My mother, after my sister died, my mother would give me these do not resuscitate things every few months, and she wanted to die given her grief for my sister, her daughter.
And you love your
I'm
parents and you
so
wanted to honor their
confused.
wishes.
He's really trying. I feel like this would be way easier if you just said it, like, because you came to the interview, right? So what did you expect other than them trying to ask you that information at the end of the day? What is it that you expected them to be asking you other than, bring out the truth? What did you do? How did you do it? Why did you do it? Who, what, when, where, how, why, all those details, because you're in an interview about something that you did, about your parents' death, and you're over here skirting around the question over and over again. It's been 7 minutes now, and we still don't know for sure. It didn't come out his mouth. We can go ahead and say it's implied within the way he's skirting around the question, but it's just like, okay, why did you come to this interview,
There's something special about our family that we can somehow read each other's minds. And so being things explicit isn't necessarily, I could complete my grandmother's sentences for her, and she would say, well, So, I mean,
what?
Are you researching dental implants?
I
There's a
am
lot of
so
dental offices
confused about
that'll
this
talk
because, my
about
man, what are
doing
you
their
talking
teeth in a
about?
day process.
Like, this is being dragged on.
the context of all this became to bear on me.
Did one parent, did your mom or your dad more so than the other, ask you to take their lives?
They didn't explicitly say that, but they
So they didn't ask you.
made it clear
To do that.
they were going downhill.
Okay.
When it actually happened, when your parents died, did they know it was happening to them?
Oh yeah,
And they knew it was at your hand?
Oh yeah.
but yes, no one else's.
Right. So they realized
go.
what you were doing to them as it happened.
Yes,
They knew that this was it for them, that they were perishing at your hand.
yes, and it was so quick.
Oh, was it?
How
So
did
what
you
did you
do
do? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't talk about that.
Well, you've just told
You
us
just
that
technically did.
it was at your hand.
Yeah.
Were there drugs involved? Was
no.
there a suffocation? You suffocated them? You suffocated.
Oh my God. Do you know how much effort it takes for you to suffocate somebody? And I'm not speaking from experience. I'm speaking from my knowledge throughout the years based on my studies. It's like you're feeling the life leaving these people's bodies. And for you to choose that method for your parents, talking about they didn't suffer, how do you know? Because they were most likely flailing their arms around and everything, trying to stop the whole thing from happening. That is sick. That is insane. And he's just sitting there chilling with a little smirk on his face. Like, just, do you see that? Do you see the little smirk on his face? All right, fam. I wonder what his name is. I'm gonna find out in a minute.
your parents.
Yeah,
That was the best way to take their lives, through suffocation.
basically,
Which parent did you suffocate first?
my father, and after he died, my mother put her head on his chest, and she was there for a few hours, and then I finished her.
I
And then what
finished
did you do?
her. Child.
Did you bury them immediately?
No, no, no. I didn't know what to do after that. I was thinking what to do. And
Interesting.
it took me several days to realize I can't do this, I can't do that. Just bury them on the property, and it was wide open sunlight. I remember my sister, she received either a gift of a lamb or a lamb was given to her upon her funeral, but that lamb showed up, and I put it on my mother's grave, and the police must have that now too.
You call it a grave? You bury them in the
What?
backyard, you see it as a grave?
Well, I bury them, and I put a thing around my mother's grave, and and I planted a peach tree next to her, and I put that there.
Oh, so thoughtful.
What did you think as you were doing it?
Yeah.
As you were taking their
Like,
lives?
what I'm thinking is, you're trying to put your family out of misery. Okay, cool. So you choose suffocation. Okay, cool. And as you're doing this, you're hearing them probably in pain or whatever, flailing their arms or whatever, and you're like, are you crying? Are you like emotionally in pain that you're doing this? And if you are, then why did you continue to go ahead and do it to your mother too after you did it to your father? This is like, oh my lord.
What was going through your head?
Not thoughts, action.
Action.
Make sure it's done, and not fool around, not make a mistake. But I'm sure the police are going to say what an incompetent idiot I am on that. But
I mean, you're doing an interview,
Did
so
they both pass away peacefully? Did they struggle as you did it?
great interviewer right here, man.
I would
He-
say the last minute, no.
The last minute.
But they're.
How long
I
did
think
you
my father
suffocate them for?
died very quickly, surprisingly quickly. That shocked me.
Oh,
And then, the part with my mother, went quickly too.
Did you realize what you were doing, as righteous as you may have thought it was illegal, and
Oh yeah.
you knew you were breaking the law? You knew you were.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We have to squeeze the law to fit the humans, not us, the humans to fit the law. And we have 40 million boomers. They're all going to suffer a horrible death, typically. My mother always, if somebody died in their home, she would say, "Great, the person died with their boots on," instead of going to a hospital and going through
what does
a
that mean?
meat processing factory kind of thing. So they were both children of World War II. My mother was born in 40.
Okay. The way that he's stammering and like, my bad. The way that he's stammering and doesn't really know what to say and all this and all that, and bringing in information from Lord knows what, for what reason, makes me feel like he just wasn't fully prepared at all for any of this. Maybe he was told to to come on here to, I don't know. Like, I'm assuming they didn't put the context of, oh, come on here to tell us what you did. They probably told him to come on here for another reason, and now they're here like, yeah, you gotta tell us. You gotta tell us. You gotta tell us. You gotta tell us. That's why this interviewer was just like on point with his questions. He was prying that information out of him, which he eventually got. But like, what in the world? He doesn't sound like he's hurt about it. It doesn't sound like he's feeling any type of emotions about doing that. He said all he was thinking really at the time was action, like doing the do. and then getting away with it pretty much. And that tells me that it was probably not a mercy, at all. Because what in the world?
Two, she was a toddler. She told me she would follow funerals behind the horse and wagon. This is the kind of world she grew up in. My father was at age 12 in a communist concentration camp for 3 years. So they had very serious lives, given the globe, genocidal British geopolitics, as I call it. And so they were not fooling around on things. They were serious people.
When you were doing this, did you think about the financial ramifications, the fact that you would continue to take their government money?
Once that happens, then what do you do?
There's no way.
Grand Canyon University offered nearly
There's no way that you're
$161
gonna
million
do all
in
that
institutional
and still
scholarships
keep
to
their
online
money
students in
and then tell me
2024,
that
in addition to...
The government is pissed because I took the Social Security money and gave it to people who are starving in the Philippines. Okay, then, be angry about that.
Oh.
But the police know all the money that I had.
This man is bold.
Went to people to help them, thousands of dollars. I gave
Let me see the receipts.
Not all of it away because there was still a lot left.
I want the receipts.
But I gave away. I didn't play with the money. I gave it away.
What's
I
in
didn't
his
enrich
hands?
myself.
Does that justify what you did?
No, but this is not a kill for money case. Is important to say. It's I was helping people before that just fine. So it didn't. The issue of taking my parents' money for other purposes related to that doesn't fit. That's why the police, they had a theory going which we talked about on Tuesday, and they wanted to try to say that this was taking their money to give away to other people, but it was that the other part is the primary situation.
Someone called that blood money,
Right, and I was giving it away.
but it's still blood money.
Well,
Yeah.
If you kill to take somebody's money away, that's blood money. But if what was I supposed to do with this money? Again, I couldn't tell anyone. The government needs to have an office where you can say, this is something that happened, and here's how it happens, and they need to deal with these kind of problems in an open way. Everything in this country is hidden away, and this is a societal crisis. Again, 40 million people are going to deal with this, and maybe a multiple of that given their friends and family. So it's a reality of human experience, and I just wanted to say, in 2020 there was this YouTube channel called Tribe of the Fox, and they did a video called The Mannerbunde. And they explain how in the ancient times they had men who would do this for the elderly, so they wouldn't have to suffer. And of course, the ancient Greeks always believed in dying on the battlefield rather than dying, in a bag of bones, like a bag of bones. Mm-hmm. So culturally, America is totally different.
They didn't die on a battlefield, though. It sounds like they died in their beds with a pillow over their faces.
No, but you could put it that way.
It wasn't a battlefield.
Well, right. It's not. The preference.
This man's funny.
Of people of the ancient Greeks was to die on the battlefield rather than die so infirm that you had nothing.
Was it a pillow that you used?
No.
What did you use to suffocate them?
For my father, my hand. For my mother, a rope.
So you strangled her?
Yeah, that would seem better.
It was strangulation, not suffocation?
Well, it's the same. No, denial of oxygen.
Okay.
But also blood circulation.
So you cut off the oxygen to both of them. That was your method.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
Oh my God, that's even worse. I'm here thinking exactly what he was thinking. Like he used a pillow. But no, he just said that he legitimately used his hands and then a rope. Oh no. No, no, no. So I'm guessing he figured out that, I did this to my father and everything. It took a lot of work because he was flailing his arms around, blah, 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 blah. And now, if I'm going to do my mother, I need a better way to perfect my craft. So he went and got a rope. He went and got a rope, y'all. That is mental illness. That is mental illness behavior. And I don't know why he's free. I know why he's free. He looks like that. He's a white man. And he was talking about 2017. So I'm wondering what time frame was this? Because we're in 2025, my bad. We're in 2025 and what? Excuse me? Denial of oxygen. Dude, that's wild.
Now that this has come to light and the police started investigating, and do you have any regrets?
I did the right thing for them based on the situation. I did my duty to them as
So
a
no,
son.
you don't have any regrets.
And that's everything fell into place. I don't know how it happened that it all fell into place, but it did. And so no, I don't have. It's a horrible situation to be in. One does one's duty and one is done. The issue of regrets, I can't say this. It's a regrettable experience, a regrettable situation. And of course, life is horrible. It has horrible moments in life.
Yeah. Some of
but
them
that's-
people create,
that's that.
and you created that.
And I just want to make sure I have it correct, because I'm a journalist and facts are important. You used your a single hand to kill your father,
Right.
putting it over his
No.
nose, and you choked him. Okay. And you did the same with your mother, but with a rope. You choked her with a rope.
No. Just a rope.
Right, I'm sorry, but I meant you choked her with a rope, though, instead of your hand.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Are you on any medications today?
No. Well, no.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Is your mind
Should
clear?
be.
And
I'm just a little sleepy, but I'm trying to keep my eyes open, but that's okay.
okay, but you have no mental disabilities that are affecting what you're saying here today?
Correct.
You're confident in what you said and clear of
Yeah.
mind as you
Yeah.
say all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would appreciate. I hope that you could put this on YouTube, the whole thing.
I'm sure we'll put this on. And
Oh,
are you ready?
he came on this to get some recognition, y'all. He wants this to be on YouTube. He said, I hope you can put this on. Excuse me? This man is bold. Oh, wow. He needs to be in handcuffs in prison. Because what do you mean? This whole time, y'all, you can see a little smirk on his face. You can see the little smirk on his face. It has not disappeared. He has not shed a tear. He has not reacted in any. Wow. Wow. It went from suffocation to strangulation. Wow.
To face the consequences now with the police and the authorities?
Yes, but I would like the American people to also read my statement so that everybody can have something to appeal to on this.
Okay.
I know my statement is,
I want to read this statement, actually. I would like to see it. I hope they show it at the end
you know,
of this.
I'm not really concerned about the police or the courts or anything. There's something much bigger in life, and we have to deal with the big things in life.
Okay.
But again, just to be certain, in 2017, you took your father's life.
Correct?
And then moments later, or a short time later, you took your mother's life on that same
It
day.
has been 8 years.
No, well, see, that's the thing. It was late at night, and it was like late evening on one day into early morning next.
So within hours of each
Right,
other.
right.
What did you do between the taking of your father's life and the taking of your mother's life?
Great question. I absolutely love this interviewer. He has very good composure. He has very good questions, like follow-up questions that just helps you get the plain, the good, the everything about the story. I don't know who he is, but he's a great interviewer. I don't watch the news typically. Maybe I should. But this is definitely mind-blowing. Wow.
I'm trying to remember because there was.
That cameraman
Yeah,
said,
I don't remember.
Did
"Let
you
me
sit
show
with
you."
your mother? Were the three of you together in one
Well,
room?
before they died, my father was here, my mother was here, and I told them what happened to me and my sister after she died. And my sister died in the house too, because when she died from the cancer. But she died in May of 1988, and then in
Like 30-some years ago.
that fall was I was doing my 11th grade now then, and there was I had to do a paper in a big test, so I did an overnighter to do that test, and then tried to do a second overnighter to finish that paper or something, and I crawled into bed at like 2:45 in the morning, and sometime then after, I popped out of my body, and I started floating up to the ceiling. I saw the nooks and crannies, and I acknowledged that the nooks and crannies of the ceiling, and then the whole world disappeared, and I was in this big black void, and I was.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at this, which we can all see that is mental illness, right? Because it's like, what are you talking about, bro? But it's not funny, but it is at the same time, because it's just like, what are you talking about? It's, this is why mental illness is very important, especially in men, considering the fact that they are typically perceived as people who have to be stronger, who can express emotions, this and that. And Lord Jesus Christ. And this man is obviously showing signs of having some mental issues, because he's talking about leaving his body and stuff, which I'm not saying is not something that couldn't happen, because in my culture, Haitian culture, there's a lot that happens, all right? But at the end of the day, you can see within the questions that were asked and then within his answers how he's trying to skirt around the questions, how he's bringing up stories about his sister that literally have absolutely nothing to do with what he's being asked. Shows kind of like a disconnect in his brain, if that makes sense. Like maybe dissociative identity disorder. I don't know. I'm not trying to diagnose this man, but he got some issues.
Things was rushing by, and then I saw my sister in a in a doorway in profile. Anyhow, after that, it was like a near-death experience kind of thing, and so I told my parents about that experience, and I told them it's time, go find Rosa. My sister's name was Rosa, and so my father just died quickly, so quickly. And I told him, find Rosa, and that's that.
And then again,
That's
just
that.
take me through, after your mother died, how long was it before you buried them? Approximately.
Like 2 or 3 days, actually.
So your parents'
Ew.
deceased bodies were in your house with you for 2 or 3 days.
Right.
And then you decided you had to do something to cover up your crimes, or to properly bury them and send them on their way?
Right. I mean, I needed to.
Opioid overdoses have devastated
This
communities
is
across the
insane,
country,
y'all. It just
with
keeps
over
getting
50,000
wilder
lives
and
lost
wilder,
in
because
20.
you're telling me you took 3 days to bury.
Yeah, I mean,
Oops.
basically, I had to bury them.
Was the burial to cover up your crime?
Huh. Yes.
You didn't want to be found out.
Right, of course. I mean, what to do? So again, the thing to do just occurred to me. Oh, she can fit here and he can fit there, and then just do it. And it was done.
I would like to see the property.
That's that.
Have you lived with fear of being found out all these years?
Answer is no.
I struggle to do other things with my life to try to make something great out of it. Because if that's what I know, that they would not want me to rot away to death in prison over this. And I have a duty to everyone to make the best out of my life, and in the end, do what's best for the people of Germany, really. I call it being a Volkssaver. It took me years to understand all this, but I learned a lot in the last eight years that I never knew before, and I learned, self-educated in so many ways. So I did not.
What did
the
you
issue
learn?
of being caught is.
You learn how to escape.
I was able to buy time to solve huge problems, and that's worth it in many ways. You know, to the American people, to me, and to them, to their legacy, to their, you know.
Do you think people are going to accept this rationale
They probably won't.
and feel for you?
What they need to feel is for their own parents. They're going to face the same problems, and they're going to have to
But that's
find
not true,
solutions
though.
ahead of time, or else they're going to end up like me. That's the reality.
Not-
Are you telling other people that when their parents start ailing, they should take their lives?
They have a duty to their parents to bring them comfort at the end of life when they believe they need to.
But again, just to be clear, you took both your parents' lives.
Yes.
And you realize that you're probably going to face the criminal consequences.
Oh,
now.
of course.
I mean, you're probably going to be arrested and
Well-
charged. And
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna. I mean, it's a process. You have to go through the process. How it will come out at the end, I don't know. But to influence that process, I would beg the American people to read that statement.
all right, Lawrence, thank you for being with us.
Oh, I appreciate it
Okay.
very much.
I would
Thank you.
love to read that statement. Please show me the statement. The cameraman is so messy, y'all. Zoomed in on
You
his
good, Stone?
everything. He has that
I
look.
think we covered all the bases. Yeah. Is there anything
Zooming
else
on
you want to
his
say?
shoes. Zooming in
What?
on him.
Why did you write that manifesto?
What?
I'm calling it a manifesto. What would you call it?
A statement to the American people. Is that what I wrote? That's what you wrote down?
I wrote statement to the public because you said that.
Yeah. I
You
think-
said that to me.
Right. Yeah. A statement to the public. What was the other option to call it?
Manifesto.
Not a manifesto.
Just a statement to the public. It is a bit rambling, a bit hard to follow.
Right. That's why I say I need more conversations over this.
But do you think people are going to want to talk about this or the fact that you
Absolutely,
took
they're
your
gonna
parents'
talk-
lives?
Right, they're going to talk about that. That's what they want to know. It's just the reality. So I mean, they'll it's a horrible situation to be in.
You put yourself in that situation, my man.
But are
No,
other
not
people
my
going
man.
to take the
Let's
same
not-
actions you took?
Probably not, because they don't have the same kind of sense of duty to their parents as I did. Duty is I owe it to you to do it, as opposed to
You
right and
owe it to
wrong, the
them
law, etc.
Take care of.
These are different ways of being. And of course, the law in this country does not allow for this way of being.
But are you truly confident that's what your parents wanted?
I know my parents are harsh in certain situations, and if my mother could see where she was going, she would never want that.
But you said they didn't expressly ask to be killed.
Right.
Are you sure you did what they wanted to be done?
I think that they would have increasingly would have wanted me to help them if their situation got any worse.
So that day in what
The
you think was
situation didn't
August
get
of
worse?
2017, what made that day the day?
Yeah. Because you're talking about, that's a really good question, because he's talking about if they were progressively getting worse, then his parents would have wanted this and that and that. So that means they were not worse per se. You just wanted to take action within your hands. And maybe you were tired of doing all the tasks that came with taking care of them. And so you took action into your own hands. This is super interesting.
I think it was a colder evening, and the windows were closed, so it was not a. It was just no noise or something like that.
So you were safe from detection? Is
Right,
that what
right,
you're
of
saying?
course. Because it was a summer, right? It's usually hot and windows are open, but it was kind of cold that period.
Okay.
So because it was a little chillier that night, you decided to take your parents' lives.
That note she gave me was sometime in May or June, I think. When she said she fell, it was May or June or something like that. So this has been, my father already told me he has double vision. He had a hearing aid. He couldn't hear anymore. His eyes were going. He couldn't drive. My mother, I knew, was not using her turn signals properly. So they were losing their independence and even awareness of the world because of, breakdown.
Most people, I think I'm safe in saying, would not take their parents' life because they couldn't use their turn signals properly.
That's a very good point, but again, it's not just that. It's one marker of decline, and again, she had a brother and a sister who were going through Alzheimer's. By then, one died, and her brother was going to die, and maybe 2 years later, and he was in a terrible situation. So, the other aunt of mine was I think even in an even worse situation because of Alzheimer's. But I never visited her because women tend to want to be remembered for their beauty when they're young. So I didn't visit her for that reason, but I also never knew enough to visit where she was or anything like that.
But again, you feel like it was your role to, some might call it playing God, deciding on their lives. It was fair for you to do that?
If the decision is going to be made, it's going to be a playing God decision. And truly, we lived through this COVID thing. Cuomo is, there's probable cause to arrest Andrew Cuomo for thousands of deaths because it's on the record that he sent people into nursing homes for a certain reason, and there was reports that people died as a consequence. So that's probable cause. But
Andrew Cuomo did not put his hand around someone's neck. Andrew Cuomo did not put a rope around someone's neck.
That he would be culpable of criminally negligent homicide. I think that's.
So what are you guilty of? Are you guilty of murder?
He's asking them questions, y'all. He's on his ass, and he said, "I'm getting all the details."
You could say age-related homicide or something like that, but it's not in the law. But it should be. Somehow it should be. And maybe it will be. And maybe if it's accepted at some point, because there's 40 million people, they'll want it to be accepted, this will blow over. And I'm willing to make restitution to the family. That's why I mentioned that other type of legal system. And
Lawrence, this is not going to blow over.
I know.
You killed your parents.
Very straight to the point.
There is that situation, but to me, it's not very important. It's politics is subject to change. Everything is negotiable. Donald Trump has proven that everything is negotiable in this country.
Oh,
and
Lord.
If you have a good
Do not bring that man up on my. Oh my God. Okay.
idea and you can help people, you can get a better outcome.
Did you ever kill anyone else?
No way.
Did you ever commit physical harm to anyone else?
No.
This was it? Just
Right.
your mother and your father?
Yep.
No one else in your family ever suffered at your hand?
No.
Okay, just wanted to check.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Lawrence, can I ask you a question? One of the neighbors told us on the scene that your parents were under the impression that you were going to take them on a trip. Did you tell them that you were going to take them on a trip before you killed them?
No, but I asked my mother if she wanted to go with me for a ride to Grafton Park. We'd like to go there.
I think they told people that they were possibly moving to Germany.
That's what I said.
You said that?
Yeah.
You said that to people, not your parents.
Right.
So that was
People ask me, where are my parents? I tell them, because my mother's from Germany, and my father was born in Yugoslavia, and then after they could escape communism, they went to Germany, and then my father came to this country, and then my mother in the 50s.
But there were neighbors who said that they had been told by your parents, "Oh, we think we're going to move to Germany." Are they mistaken? Are the neighbors remembering that incorrectly, or could your parents have said that?
They could have said that.
Could they have known something was coming?
Possibly.
You ever give them the impression that maybe you would just move them somewhere?
No.
No. Okay.
That's news to me, to be honest.
Okay. All right.
That's news to him.
I think we're done.
Okay.
Thank you, Lawrence.
I appreciate it very much.
Thank you for talking to us.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, if you can make that all available on YouTube, even on a private website for me, so I can have it
Trust
on
me,
record.
it will be available.
Okay, I appreciate it. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right. This was interesting. Like his behavior throughout the whole interview was so interesting to see because he's sitting there and it's like there's a part of him that's not registering the fact that he did that and it is wrong. Well, like he's saying the law and everything, the law should change and this and that. So he's realizing that he did something that's against the law, but the emotional side of him is not connecting. For him to be like emotional about it, to see that there is an emotional disconnect within his body in general. And that was super interesting to see because he's sitting there answering these questions and then bringing up facts from his life from years before that are not really related. And I don't understand what the purpose of those was, but overall you could see that that man really just has some issues, like for sure, because there's no way that you start by saying, oh no, I don't want to talk about this, I want to show you guys the thing that I wrote, and then he goes to say he suffocated them, and then he goes to say he strangulated them, and then he goes to say put this make it available on YouTube. And excuse me, sir, this is a little bit insane because what in the world, dude? And then you leave their bodies right there wherever they were at for days. And this was in 2017. We're in 2025, yo. You real life tell me that this man has been sitting about living his life for 8 years without being discovered. 8 years. What? I want to know specifically where this was done at because this is absolutely insane. And for him to just be sitting there chilling, sitting with a smirk on his face, like his parents, I understand like your parents may be deteriorating and then it may be hurting you and all this and all that. I understand that for sure. And I understand him, part of him saying, oh, you know, we shouldn't have to deal with that. People shouldn't be in pain like that or whatever it is that was going on with his family, right? But it's not for you to really decide because he couldn't give us a simple answer as, yeah, my mom explicitly said, you know, my dad explicitly said, oh, excuse me, explicitly said, no, he did not say that because they didn't say that. He's talking about it was implied. Okay, that's you deciding that. That's you saying that it was implied. If they wanted that, they could have specifically said that. And at the end of the day, that's not for you to really decide, right? But I also understand the logic, I guess, behind it, behind maybe seeing your parents suffering and then you ultimately suffering at the same time. But I don't believe that he was suffering from that because he doesn't look like he's mourning. Like maybe because it's 8 years later, but he does not look like he was affected by it at all. He's talking about put this on YouTube, put this out to the public. For what? Like what is the message? Why is it that you want this out there? Do you want to be seen as somebody who did that and got away with it for 8 years? Or what is the purpose? What is the reason? I have so many questions and I'm about to dive a little bit deeper into this explore it a little bit more because this was insane. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you guys relate to any of this, if you guys have watched anything related to this at all, if this is your first time seeing something like this, if you're intrigued by things like this as I am, and yeah, if you no, do not let me know if you would take your parents' lives. But if you understand where he's coming from or something like that, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you like these styles of videos because these are definitely interesting to me. So I hope it was to you. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time, bye.